Welcome to part 2 of the income generating activities. In video 1, we concentrated on identifying your prospects and prospecting them. Now we're going to focus on your listing appointment. So don't think about the 24 hours in front of you, and don't think about what can happen in a month or a year. Think about the here and now. You've created and got this listing appointment. Now it's time to make it count. And again, I'm going to reiterate what I said in my first video. Without saleable or lettable stock, you have no future income. So this listing appointment is critical for you to become successful. So let's talk about the pre-preparation for this listing appointment. Make sure you are well informed when you go into that listing appointment. You have knowledge of the stock in the area. What is going to be competing against this house you are going to be listing? So have knowledge of the stock that is currently on the market. Have knowledge of what has expired, what listings didn't sell. Because remembering, your seller doesn't get to see that. What your seller got to see was a property that came on the market at a more than likely a ridiculous price. Then he sees it's off the market, and more often than not, the seller will believe that that property sold. And then also, what stock has currently been sold? And I'm going to give you an extra little tip here. Make sure that you know the difference between what the property is listed at and what they're actually sold at. Because again, remembering your seller will only see the price at which the property listed at. And my last little piece of advice in terms of preparing for this listing appointment is to ask an extremely important question. What does your seller expect of you? Now you may say to me, why would I ask that question? And here's why I'm going to say to you why it is such an important question to ask. As human beings, we all have different expectations. My expectation on, for example, a clothing brand may be very different to your expectation of a clothing brand. But we all buy certain brands and certain items because we believe and we think about the things they can do for us, how they make us feel, what is the result, and we feel successful. So the most important thing when dealing with people is to understand what is their expectation of you. Because you may think you understand my expectations, where in reality, you actually don't understand my expectations at all. It's easy to meet expectations if you know what they are. So always ask that question when you're on your listing appointment, is ask your seller, Mr. Seller, as your real estate agent, what is your expectation of me? 3 very important questions to be asking on the listing appointment. Why do they need to sell? Now, the reason why you're asking that question is to determine what we call motivation. And in Afrikaans, there's a very simple saying, and I'll translate it in English, but it doesn't come out quite as great as the Afrikaans expression, wil jy ry or wil jy bly? Do you want to go or do you want to stay? Now, wil jy ry means they want to go, which means you know you're working with a motivated seller. They want to sell. The next question you're going to ask is, by when do you need to sell? That's going to give you a date in terms of the urgency of when they're needing to sell. Now in real estate, we refer to what we call the 4 Ds, and I call them the high motivators: death, divorce, departure, debt. Those are the 4 reasons why motivated sellers need to sell. The unmotivated seller is the seller that will sit back and go, well, if you get my price, I will sell. Those are the ones in Afrikaans we say, jy wil bly, you want to stay. Because we're in a market where the sellers don't determine the prices, the buyers do. So when we get the reasons death, divorce, departure, debt, we're understanding we're working with a really, really motivated seller, and we need to walk out with that listing and, if possible, a sole mandate, because we know we've got a good chance of selling that property. So it becomes very important to understand the needs and motivation of that seller. Okay, so we've determined they're definitely one of the 4 Ds. Now we need to focus on our price and listing and marketing presentation, making sure we're going to be doing that specifically to tailor-make their needs. Because remembering, you've asked the question, what is their expectation of you? We understand they're motivated, we've got a date by which they need to move by, and the third question that can be asked is, if we do not manage to sell your property in that time, what is the next plan of action? Now, the reason why I add that little question in is because when we are dealing with sellers who are selling for reasons of debt reminding us that it's a very, very personal reason, and it's obviously not something that most sellers are going to disclose up front. So they're going to try and dodge the question, and they'll give you other reasons why they're needing to sell, but eventually the truth will come out, and especially when you're asking them that question. What will happen if we don't manage to sell in time? When it comes to debt, there is no second plan of action. They are forced to sell. All right, so we've gone in, we've got knowledge of the stock that's currently on the market, the stock that's expired, the stock that is already sold. We've got knowledge of our company's products and services and what we can offer them. And we've also got knowledge on how we're going to present our CMA, because understanding getting to a price agreement is going to be critically important. We also have knowledge of our Property Practitioners Act, and most importantly is to show your client a copy of your Fidelity Fund certificate. Now you may say to me, why would I want to do that, or why should I do that? Very important for your seller to understand that he is dealing with a registered estate agent that is governed by a property board that has rules and regulations in place, and as such you are obliged to abide by that code of conduct and those rules and regulations, and more importantly, it's protection to your client against unscrupulous practices. We're also going to need knowledge of how to deal with the objections, because we're going to get objections when we're asking for a sole mandate, or we're asking for permission to list this property and to hopefully give it to yourself exclusively. So we need to work through in our mind before we go into that listing presentation as to, well, what are the objections we're going to get? And we're going to do that in a later video, so you will be very well prepared as to how to answer those objections. Very importantly, we also need to discuss what are the marketing activities we're going to do, so that your client understands that they are going to get the best exposure that this property can possibly get on the various platforms that you advertise on. For sale boards, show houses if the client agrees to it, your existing database of buyers that you have, arrange some open hours, arrange mini show days, go through all the marketing activities that you're going to be doing to create a successful result, and a result that your client is going to be happy with. Once you've explained to them all the marketing activities that you're going to be going through, you should have kind of done away with that little word called FOMO, fear of missing out, so that they're 100% happy and confident in the product and services and exactly what it is that you're going to be doing for them. Now is the time to close that mandate. Narrow it down. get them to sign on that bottom line. Right, so now we've successfully got that mandate. Now we can create and do all our marketing activities. But remembering, just as important as it was to qualify your seller, it's equally as important to qualify your buyer, because we don't want to deal with the time wasters. So once the phone starts ringing, the inquiries come in, make sure you again are asking your buyer a few pertinent questions. When do you need to move by? When do you need to find a property by? Do you have existing properties that you need to sell? When are you looking? And exactly what is your want list and what is your need list? To understand that the property that they've inquired on is going to match either list, and that you're not time wasting on both your seller's side as well as your buyer's side. There is nothing more disheartening for an agent to be rushing off to an appointment to either have the buyer not pitch because they weren't really serious at all, and if you'd asked those few pertinent questions in the beginning, you would have ascertained that. Or even more disappointing is to be excited about this appointment, taking the buyer through, seeing you closing the deal, for the buyer to walk out the property and go, well, actually, we've put an offer in on another property. We just wanted to make sure we made the right decision. How disheartening. So that's why we need to ask those questions. And another very important question has your buyer been pre-qualified? Now you may say to me, well, I think I'm not going to get a great response to that question. And here's my advice to you. 99% of buyers who are serious about buying a property will want to be pre-qualified before they view a property. We have this little saying in life, it's called, well, you've got a beer pocket, but champagne taste. And unfortunately, never shall the two meet. So a very easy way to walk around that or to handle that is, Mr. Buyer, I don't want to show you a property today that you will fall in love with, only to unfortunately find out that it is not within your affordability. I would far rather show you homes today that are within your affordability and that you can fall in love with one of them. So again, a few important questions before you rush out and take that buyer out. Okay, so we've asked the questions. We've got a serious, motivated buyer. We have a serious, motivated seller. We're almost smelling that sweet smell of success, money in the bank, commission. We're getting excited. We're feeling energized and charged. Now we get to actually meet the buyer and take them through the property. Now remembering, we get two types of people. We get the demonstration approach and we get the discovery approach. And you yourselves will find you fit into one of those two categories. The demonstration approach is those people who like you to show them through, explain each room, explain the features as you go through the property. They like to be handheld, if we can call it that. Or we get the discovery kind of people who just like to charge through themselves, see everything in their own time. They don't really like to be spoken to much. But at the end, if they're interested, they will come to you and ask you questions about the home. Make sure you understand whether you're dealing with a demonstration or a discovery kind of person, and you handle them appropriately. Okay, now we've got to the point. You've asked them the question, do you like this home? Yes. Would you like to put in an offer? Yes. Now we need to sit down and go through the offer with them. I always say to agents, especially the newbies, have a piece of paper handy. Ask a few very pertinent questions before you actually start filling in the written agreement. Ask such questions such as, what price would they like to offer? Is there a deposit? What amount of loan are they looking for? Have they been pre-qualified, which you should already know at that point in time. When would they like to take occupation? If you understand it's going to be before registration date, you need to discuss occupational rental. Is there anything about the property they would like to add in as a special addendum? Once you've had a very comfortable discussion, then you can put pen to paper. Great, now we're feeling the pressure. Now we've got to get to our seller and we've got to present the offer. And again, please make sure you've done your pre-preparation. You understand that you have a responsibility here to both your seller in achieving the best price and to your buyer to getting the home at the best price the market is prepared to pay. Now you've closed the deal, you can pat yourself on the back and go, yes, we've done it. But again, I'm going to say to you, the last step in our income chain was to keep in regular contact. Make sure you are keeping your buyer and seller updated on all stages in those transactions, because that buyer becomes your future seller. But more importantly, I'm going to refer back to what I said right at the very beginning. Never stop working your income chain. You've worked your income chain back to the top successfully, but make sure you never stop during that process identifying your prospects and prospecting them. Because the difference between ordinary and extraordinary is just that little bit extra.